Hey, Warrior Saints, Father Chris here. Welcome to our Crucifixional live stream. Glad to have you beautiful people with us on this glorious start of the week. This week we're going to talk a little bit about business. I'm not a businessman, so I'm not going to give you advice on how to do business well, but yes, I am. Because I want to explore this week how we act as warrior saints, as businessmen and businesswomen. The math of your business, the overhead of your business, the staffing of your business, all that rest of that good stuff, that's up to you people who are smarter than me at that stuff. But it's the manner in which we do the things we do that is of great concern this week. And the first thing, there is a beautiful question that one of our fellow warrior saints, Adam, asked me. He's like, look, he's an aspiring and really an up-and-coming successful entrepreneur. And he asked, like, I'm a Christian, I'm a warrior saint. I want to be the best God-fearing man, husband, father, businessman that I can be. But I don't want to, like, fail at business. I want to like get some, man. I'm trying to crush it. And can I rectify the two? And I said, yes, you can. And we're going to do a lesson. So before I get into it today, for those who are already subscribers to The Way of the Warrior Saint, that lesson is coming out this week. You can find it here, if you're not already subscribed, at warriorsaints.org. When you get there, subscribe to The Way of the Warrior Saint. We have a lesson coming that's going to be called How to Succeed in Business. All of that to be said, as I was talking to Adam, I'm like thinking about, yeah, I mean, we have a responsibility, not just a privilege, but a responsibility to be successful in all that we do. We owe it to the world, to ourselves, to our families, but most importantly, we owe success and hard work to God himself. In Genesis chapter 2, like this is where we see the beginning of the creation of the man, meaning, human beings. And they're placed in this garden, meaning Eden. It's paradise, it's perfect, all this kind of stuff. And God says to Adam, like, dude, you can eat freely of all of the trees in this garden. And then he gives him a commandment. Don't touch this tree, and we're going to see what happens. In this whole episode of the Garden of Eden, God gives Adam, the man, purpose. And I think it's a purpose that should be for all of us, right? And the purpose is this. Chapter 2, verse 15. God took the man and placed him in the garden to till it and keep it. Now, if you think about these words, till and keep, it's really that he was saying Adam is supposed to be a gardener, right? Like he's supposed to go into this garden that was a gift of grace that God gave him, right? He didn't create paradise. God did. And he gives it to him. God gives it to the man. Freely. Grace. Here you go. Paradise. Now I want you to go in there and till it and keep it. What does that mean? Just keep it in the status quo? I don't think so. It means I've given you these blessings. You are to take them, garden them, and bear fruit. What that means, I think what God is saying is your purpose, warrior saint, is to work. Not just a job. Obviously, we always say that's a part of it, a very important part of it. But it is to work in that you are taking the blessings that God has given you and bear fruit, multiply them, give them back to the world. You owe it to God, you owe it to your family, you owe it to the world, and at the end of the list, you owe it to yourself to be as successful as you possibly can. Now, to be successful as much as possible also implies a lot of temptation. And we're going to spend the rest of the week talking about some of those temptations and how, as we're striving to be successful in our careers, that we don't submit to these temptations. But leave today. Take this one with you. And look, whatever you're doing, you are supposed to be to till, to keep, to multiply, to bear fruit. That's your purpose. That's your responsibility. That in all things, it covers, like, in our relationships with our spouses and our children and all the rest of the world, absolutely. But we're focusing on business. You have a responsibility to be as successful as is appropriate according to the gospel and as possible according to your abilities. In other words, ain't no slacking off. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Love you, beautiful people. Visit us at warriorsaints.org if you want to see the full episode with the full teaching about how to be successful in business as a warrior saint. Just visit warriorsaints.org. Subscribe to The Way of the Warrior Saint. Love you. Be back tomorrow. As always, keep walking on the way of the warrior saint.